Hey, I finally sent my application to 2 universities in Bavaria that you know already, OTH Amberg-Weiden and OTH Regensburg. I'm now waiting for my admission. I'm so excited. Do you have any tips?
Wow, great! We both studied at these universities.
I will recommend looking for accommodation early on. Have you already looked for a room?
No, I haven't. What can you tell me about housing in Germany?
First of all, you have to find out where exactly you are going to study and stay, because different cities have different housing procedures. For example, if you are studying at OTH Amberg-Weiden, you need to find out if your classes take place in Amberg or Weiden.
Also, keep in mind that in Germany, the admission to a university does not automatically include housing. So don't forget to apply for housing.
In some towns, especially in regions with many university students, accommodation is difficult to find because there may be more students than rooms, so start looking for accommodation early on. To rent an apartment, you and the landlord have to sign a rental agreement. Study the agreements carefully and make sure that you understand all of its terms. Make sure you get your signed copy. If you want to move out before your contract ends, you may have to pay the rent for a couple more months. Keep the notice period for your contract in mind. You have to give notice in advance and in writing. For moving in and out, make sure to make an appointment for a walkthrough. If you are not sure about your rental agreement and what to do, always feel free to contact the international office.
Once you signed a rental agreement, the landlord gives you a so-called Wohnungsgewerbebestätigung, a document which confirms that you rented an apartment. You need this confirmation to register at the local citizen's office.
Be careful not to rent at rates higher than the typical local rent. There are several things that you have to pay for: rent, deposit, and license fee. The rent will either be Kaltmiete, that is excluding additional costs, or Warmmiete, which means service costs and utilities are included. Tenants usually have to pay a deposit or Kaution before moving in to compensate for damages or non-payment of rent. When your contract expires, the landlord must pay back the deposit accordingly. The mandatory German license fee for the public broadcasting service, also known as Rundfunkbeitrag, is about 19 euros per month an apartment, regardless how many people live there. The most common way of paying your rent is by direct debit, the so-called SEPA-Lastschriftverfahren. This means that your bank moves money from your account into the landlord's account at regular times. To do this, you need a German or European bank account. To find out more about living costs in Germany, check out the website of the German Academy Exchange Service at the link below this video.
By the way, there are different types of accommodation. You may opt for a single apartment that has its own bathroom and kitchen, or for a single room in a shared apartment. In shared apartments, you have your own room, but you share a bathroom and kitchen with other students, often people of different genders and nationalities.
Make sure you have the contact details of the caretaker, or in German, Hausmeister or Hausmeisterin, the landlord or the dorm administration or Verwaltung. Please mind their office hours when contacting them. Normally, you have to inform the caretaker when something is broken or out of order. If you have problems with your contract, call the dorm administration or the landlord.
The dorms usually have laundry areas. Some offer Wi-Fi that is included in the rent, but in other dorms you have to take care of Wi-Fi access yourself. If you have a car, you can ask for a parking spot belonging to your dorm. The rooms are normally fully equipped. That means that there are certain pieces of furniture, but you need to bring some additional items for cooking and living. For example, bedding is sometimes available for a fee. And don't forget to bring your own bed linen. The plugs in the room are German standard, so bring your adapter.
Renting a room involves many do's and don'ts. For example, don't sublet your apartment without the landlord's consent. Don't smoke in the dorms and don't tamper with the smoke detectors. Both may trigger a false fire alarm, which will cost you a fortune. There are several things you have to do. Pay your rent. If you don't, you'll get into legal trouble. However, if you are unable to do so, contact your landlord. Take care of your home and make sure to open the windows regularly, especially after taking a shower or after cooking. Contact the caretaker or landlord immediately when something is broken or out of order. If you don't do it right away, you might be held responsible for the damage. Make sure your letterbox has your name on it, so you get all the important official documents that are usually not sent by email. Keep in mind that in Germany, you have to separate your waste because there's a strict recycling system. Please treat your furniture and room equipment with care and respect your roommates and their personal and cultural sensitivities. Keep your room and apartment clean. If there is a conflict, get in touch with people in charge. If you need assistance, contact the international office.
You can find some useful German terms relating to housing in this overview. Pause the video to have a closer look.
Thank you so much for all the information. Fingers crossed that I will be admitted and that I will find housing.
You're welcome.
Good luck! If you have any more questions, check out the websites of international offices or contact them directly.